سلام سلام.
To get to here. And yesterday, 1 hour and a half to go to Whitechapel. And another 1.5 hours to come back. Actually, it was almost 2 hours. From Gatwick to central London took me 3 hours. I was like, why? There's no other easier way. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So may Allah reward you. And I don't know also how you live with this weather. It was sunny, then after 10 minutes, I'm all wet. And of course, I don't have my umbrella. So typical the tourist, you know. For you, I was like, okay, get the umbrella and start walking. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Are you ready for Ramadan? It's good possibility it's tomorrow. I don't know about you ladies. How do you calculate Ramadan here in London? Do you go by moon sighting or you go by calculation or? And the moon sighting local of your masjid or the moon sighting of London?
There's a local one, moon sighting as well, which we'll do tomorrow night.
So how are you going to do your moon sighting with this beautiful clouds? So what do you do if there's clouds?
Then you complete the 30.
Yeah, that's what Rasul says. Basically, صوموا لرؤيته وأفطروا لرؤيته. Start your fasting when you see the moon, and then break your fast or end Ramadan when you see the moon. And فإن غم عليكم, meaning if there was clouds, which here we are, أكملوا شعبان عدة شعبان 30 يوما. Finish Sha'ban 30 days. So if you're going to finish Sha'ban 30 days, it's going to be Monday. And if it's by the sighting, which I doubt you will be able to see it here. Maybe in Saudi they see it, in the places where there's always sunny, California probably they can see it very well, then maybe they are. So let's assume London said tomorrow and your place said Monday. What are you going to do? So the central mosque in London said it's tomorrow. I'm just assuming, I'm just giving you scenarios. And your place says nope, it's going to be Monday. What are you going to do? Really?
Yeah.
Who says starts tomorrow? Okay, so she believes in wahdatul matali'. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Yeah, no, I'll explain it exactly what she said. But in the Arabic language or in the fiqh language, we say it's wahdatul matali'. And then you believe I need to pray, I need to fast with Norbury. So you believe in ta'addudul matali'. This is what it means. So the moon is one moon, right? Moon is one moon. But it's seen in some places, not seen in some places. That's what they call it. So some people say it's one moon. If I see it in Saudi, it's the same moon, so I'm fasting. These are right. A lot of the Sahaba followed that rule. And then some people says, no, I don't live in London. Like, I live in Saudi. What I have to do with London? They didn't see it in London, but I saw it in Saudi. That's ta'addud al-matali', meaning it's one moon, but it shows up in some countries and doesn't show up in some countries. So I follow what my countries say, or even my local. So which one? They believe in wahdatul matali'. They believe in this one moon. It's in Saudi, it's in Mecca, it's wherever, it's whatever. And some people says no. I mean, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas, and this is a very famous incident where they believe in different moon sightings. Because a Sahabi moved from Medina, walked in Ramadan, reached Sham, Syria these days, right? And then they said, tomorrow is the Eid in Syria. And he said, no, because we fasted in Medina a day later. So exactly our story. So don't think it's like new. So what do you normally do? What is the recommendation?
What the majority is doing in that area, do it.
You follow your local mosque, because wahdat al-ummah is more important. Is the nation, the community to be united way more important than where is the moon is being seen. Number one. Number two, it's not my job or yours to decide where is the moon. I'm not the leader. The leaders, this is why leaders have a lot of responsibility. One of them is deciding the day of Ramadan. Even if I'm seeing it, I cannot come to my home and say, hey, I saw Ramadan, the moon, and we're gonna fast tomorrow. No, I need to go to my leader. And I said, I did see it, right? And for the month to start, you need only one person. But for the month to end, you need 2 people come and witness. And they give their testimony that they saw. So for us, wherever we are, for example, I am flying tonight going to Mecca. Allah knows, everyone is saying in the United States, it's Monday. Well, I live in the United States, but I'm going to be in Mecca. So whatever Mecca says, I'm going to be there. And then I fly the day of Eid. Day of Eid in Mecca. But when I arrive, it is still Ramadan. So what do? Wherever I am, because I don't want to be different. When I be different, I break the unity. So put the unity, this is something you have all to learn in Islam. There's many important things, but they're not the same. So you always have to say, what is more important than this, than this, than this? And the unity of the ummah is the most important. And especially for the lay people, you and me. I don't want to come and say, you know what, they fasted in Saudi, I'm following Saudi. Well, I don't live in Saudi. And all my masjid is fasting on Monday. Why do I want to be different? Because I like it. Then this is you. This is me, my nafs, my desire. And I am actually breaking up. Because one person will say, you know what? Oh, she's my friend. I'm going to do it with her. So always think what unites the community. And for you, you're a Norbury community, right? Unless I don't know if you have it here, the Council of England, which is like the umbrella of the Muslims, comes and says, you know what, we all agreed. Don't say majority follow Mecca. We all agreed that we are going to be following from this year, following Mecca in Ramadan and in Hajj. That is it. Now you follow your big umbrella. But in general, you follow your masjid. You agree, you disagree, that's not your job. Allah is not going to ask you. You always ask yourself this question. When I am in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is He going to ask me about? When did you start fasting? Or what He will ask me? How did you fast? Were you really fasting? But He's not going to tell me why did you fast Monday or Sunday. Because He knows I followed. I am a follower, I am not a leader. So especially women, because that happens in your home. You disagree with your husband. Your husband wants to do it with Norbury, you want to do it with Mecca. Or if your family lives in whatever part of the world and I want to do it with my family, don't do that. You follow your local. And if the local sighting or the local decision was wrong, you're not going to be responsible. They will be responsible. But you are responsible, why don't you follow your local? So this is the most important. I can't tell you how often this question comes in. Last week I was in Georgia and said, what's your opinion about the moon sighting? I said, this is not my worry. Anna, my worry, what's my opinion about my fasting? Is my fasting is accepted? Is my fasting, I call it the robot fasting. You know the robot fasting? That's my term, of course. So what is a robot fasting? Okay, let's start with this. How many Muslims in the world? Generally. Now, what is the number? Google, what is the number? Actually, no, it's not yet. I found the 3 numbers, which is very weird. No, really. It's 1.8 or 1.7 or 1.6 billion. This is when I did my research. So I take the middle. So we are taking the 1.7. Assume it's 1.7. Assume 7 billion of them, 7 million of them, they cannot fast for whatever the reason, right? So there is 1 billion left all over the world. Think of Malaysia, Indonesia, us, Mecca, all the Arab worlds, States, Canada, on and on, right? The 1 billion, all of them will fast. The base is the robot fasting, I call it. What is the robot fasting?
Just staying away from food.
So everybody will have their niyyah, intention, that you are going to fast Ramadan. True? Whether you're going to do it every night, that's fiqh issues. I'm not focusing on the fiqh today. So either I'm going to do every night, tomorrow I'm fasting, or day 1 I'm going to say, you know what? I'm fasting all the month of Ramadan. Done. 1. And then what you're going to do? Everybody will not eat from dawn to dusk. That's the robot fasting. Everyone. That's the minimum. The minimum. If it's scores, let's assume it is scores. You go here by numbers or you go by ABC? And by numbers. So 50 you pass, right? Or 60 here you pass. Let's say 50. Make it easy for people. Okay. So 50%. So you passed. So once you do the night niyyah, intention, and then you did not eat or drink, and for those of you who are married, no marital relation, in that time, you got 50%. Is that how you want to go in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Your book, Allah will look at it like this, right? And the book and says, oh, okay, Haifaa, you fasted 2019 and you got 50. How do you feel? Awful, right? Inside you will say, that's it. Think of it this way. Your child, or you, if you're young and you're in college and studying, right? Waiting for your grades. And these days you actually see it online, right? And you're looking for the number and you get the 50. How you will feel. Yourself before even anyone else. Disappointed. 50? It couldn't do better? Not 55? What about 70? 80? And inside you, what you will say, this is all inside you. Nobody talked to you yet. And you said, you deserve better. And even if you are really honest with yourself, you're going to say, you know what, you definitely can do better. Why 50? So let's look at Ramadan as this way. So the 1 billion will do the 50. Otherwise, you didn't fast. If there is no intention, you didn't fast. And if you ate or had a sip of water or had the relationship, there's no 50. There's no Ramadan. Is that what you want? So how do I make it 70 or 80 or 100? Is there something like this? Have you ever thought of this? How can I improve my fasting? This is how we are. The title is, I want this Ramadan to be best ever. Let's speak reality. How can I make this Ramadan really better than last year? So tell me, we'll talk, because if I talk after 5 minutes, you'll be sleeping. Tell me, what did you do last year that you still remember and you say, you know what, this year I want to do it also. Let's start with the positive. What did you do last year? I want to hear from young people and from not very young people. Never say old people. As I said to one of the sisters the other day, and I don't know what the topic was, like, you never ask a woman how old is she. Right? Let alone a man ask you how old you are, he's done. So what did you do positive last year? That you say, you know what? Ya Allah, please make me do it. So you concentrate more on the Quran. Can you be more positive? More specific, I'm sorry. So your relationship with the Quran. Perfect. I'm going to give you topics, or I'm going to give you things that if you do them all, or most of them, absolutely you will not end up with 50%. So the 50% we agreed, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to drink, no marital relationship, and I'm going to have in the evening my intention. You don't have to say anything. Waking up for suhoor is your intention. Drinking the sip of water before it becomes whatever the time, you know how we all, was like, oh, 2 seconds left, let me drink. This is your intention. Let's come to the Quran. There's a couple of things. Titles. There's the fasting itself. The fasting itself. How do I make this fasting, that action, and 100%? Then I have the Quran. Then of course I have the Salah. And I'm not talking about Taraweeh only. I'm talking about Salah, obligation first. Then of course I'm going to talk about what? Being charitable, generous. I wouldn't say, because charitable, money comes to your mind. And I don't mean money. People don't have money. Not everybody has money. Can I be generous in Ramadan and I have zero money? Can I? Absolutely yes. Then I'm going to come to put this, it's going to get harder here. Your relationship with people around you. And your relationship with the earth around you in Ramadan. And then the most important thing, this all goes under your relationship with Allah. So let's start the Quran, since the sister remembered the Quran, and we all, one of the names of Ramadan is the month of Quran. طيب. What's our usual relationship with the Quran? Let's start reality. I'm not talking about 100. Average Muslim in Ramadan, what's their relationship with the Quran?
Trying to read.
I love the word trying. Trying to read. If I tell you what's your relationship with iftar, you're going to tell me I'm trying to cook? What are you going to say? I'm going to eat. So change the way you look at things. This is how you improve. So it's not going to be my relationship with the book of Allah, I'm going to try to read it. This is not going to get you to even 50, because what's going to happen with the trying? I couldn't. I tried, but I was very busy. Or I was very tired. But I was not tired talking with my friend, and I was not tired checking my all social media, whatever social media you do, and I was not tired studying for anything else. But when it comes to the Quran, I was tired. So my relationship with the Quran is going to be the following. Number one, daily relation. Daily. I cannot, daily, non-negotiable. This is how we say things in the States. I don't know what term you use here. We say non-negotiable, meaning I have no choice. I am going to have a daily relationship with the Quran. I'm going to give you reality based upon my last 3 days in London. How many hours you spend on the tube? Oh God. How many of you work actually or study here? طيب. And how many of you, I'm assuming you work inside the house? When I mean work, there's work outside the house and then you work inside the house. So how many work outside the house daily or go to college or study? School is still on, right? Yeah. So how many goes to school? طيب. And how many they work inside the house? And how many are the lucky, real lucky, who they don't work outside the house and they don't have any responsibility inside the house, meaning children are grown up, they are in colleges, it's you and your husband or you alone. How many of you is here? One. Now, don't be jealous of her. Why? Because her responsibility in front of Allah way bigger than yours. Because He's going to look at you and me, because I'm off in this Ramadan also. That's why I'm going to Mecca. He's going to say, okay, I completely emptied you. I completely removed all the distractions. What did you do with it? So I cannot, and us together and whoever share the same thing, if I take 60, I'm failure. Because I had why not? It's me and my laziness. So for the Quran, go back to the Quran. Those of you who are inside the house, working inside the house, you need to have a specific time. If there will be an earthquake in London, you're not going to leave your Quran. Unless you do it this way, it will never happen. Meaning, you're a morning person, then you are, after your Fajr, and you're not tired yet, you sit down and this 1 hour with the Quran. This 5 minutes business doesn't work. And 10 minutes, and in between, I'm reading the Quran, right? And then my phone is next to me. And every 2 seconds, I'm doing this. And then the hour is done. No, there's no phone. Phone is off. Phone is off. This is Kalamullah. This is the word of Allah. And whatever I am seeing or reading is the word of human beings. Are they the same? So fixed time for the Quran. And I started with the people who are in the house, because you have your own control somehow. Or some people will say, I cannot do this after Fajr. I am dead tired. I am up at 3 or 2:30 making suhoor for everybody. Try, because your Fajr is at 3 o'clock here. 3 something. May Allah make it easy for you. Then I'll say, fine. You sleep after Fajr. You wake up. Everybody went to school. And you're alone in that house. 9 to 10. It has to be fixed time. Don't let yourself loose. This is Ramadan. Every day is valuable. It's only 30 or 29 days. أيام معدودات. Counted days. Very few. Now I'm talking to you and I'm telling you tomorrow, blink your eyes and it's going to be 10 days gone. Blink another eye and it's going to be 20 days. And blink another eye and it's going to be Eid and you'll be celebrating. Every year we feel this. I still remember last year when Ramadan day 1 started, as if it is yesterday. So time is, as we always say this, is your bank account. Time is your bank account. And the more money you make from that base bank account is how much you invest in that time. Invest, use the words, the monetary words that we all know. Invest in your time. And to invest in your time, you have to be very specific. 9 to 10. I met a young boy yesterday, 16 years old. Born, raised in this country. He read Quran to me. I thought I was listening to one of the shuyukhs. And I was like, come on in. His mother is not with us. So I'm comfortable and it's not recorded. So alhamdulillah. So I said to him, okay, tell me, how did you do that? And he gave me his schedule. And this is exactly what I will share with you. He said, and he's homeschooled. Amazing boy. Amazing, amazing. I mean, I saw things, I was like, Ya Allah, what is this? You don't find 16-year-old these days. Ran after me because he saw me from the window. It was raining. Kept running after me, Salaam alaikum, and I didn't turn. And finally said, Sister Haifaa, you need the umbrella. 16-year-old these days, they will roll their eyes and tells you, I can't do it. Why didn't she bring her umbrella with her? Doesn't she know it's going to be raining? Do you have the same story here? This is our usual there. So I said, okay, so he finished his memorization at age 13. And now he's studying his GCCT and he wants to be an engineer. So this is a man of dunya also. He doesn't want to be an imam, which is fine with me, but at least he memorized the Quran. And he said, this is what I did. 3 hours in the morning, and 1 hour in the afternoon, and 2 hours in the night. And I was like, really? Tell me exactly. Exactly. This is a man who did it because he was not reading a paper. He said, wake up before Fajr. And I do 30 minutes before Fajr. And then I pray Fajr. And then after Fajr, I sit. And he even gave me the hours. I think something like from 5 to 8 or 6 to 9. 3 hours. Has no phone, of course, this boy. Right? And he said, I memorize in this a page usually. And I said, 3 hours for a page? And he said, yeah. Because number one, I listen. And I want to make sure I'm reading it properly. 1 hour. And then I start memorizing this, take me 1 hour, which is true. And then the last hour, I review. I said, perfect. And he said, then I go and do my studies. He's a homeschooled. Do my studies till 1. And when I eat my lunch, and then I pray, Dhuhr. After Dhuhr, 1 hour. Fixed. This is why I'm trying to tell you. Fixed time. Fixed time. This loose time, do whatever I want, whenever I want, we get loose. He said, 1 hour, I review. And then he actually plays sports, and he is actually a coach. So he does all this fun thing also. And he said, Maghrib, I go, I pray Maghrib. And then from Maghrib to Isha, it's usually about 2 hours. How much Quran he does. And if you listen to his reading, you will not say this boy was not raised up in an Arab country, in a good home that speaks good Arabic. And he does not. And he said, sometimes I read even the translation because it really helps me in my memorization. Now let's come to all of us. I gave you a real example. I didn't give you a Sahabi example, right? I didn't give you Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. We're not going to go there because you're all going to leave. Where they finished 60 times the Quran in Ramadan. Imam Shafi'i, well-known story about him. 60 times, 2 khatma in a day. And to finish the Quran from A to Z, and if you know it very well, it takes about 7 to 8 hours. But that's Imam Shafi'i. If I tell you Imam Shafi'i, you're going to say, you know what, I'm not an Imam Shafi'i, don't talk to me. Okay, I'm not. I got you the example of the boy yesterday. I saw this with my own eyes. And subhanAllah, why Allah made me ask him. So here you are. Today you will do your program. Today. And you will put it in front of the fridge. And this is non-negotiable. And this is how your children will learn. Because you are the leader of the house. And they will look at you. If you are watching TV, they are watching TV with you. If they are watching all these shows, they are watching shows with you. If you are standing in salah, they follow you. Children, especially up till age about 13, 14, they are like a dough. That dough, you know the dough when we are young, we play with the dough, you loved it? They are exactly the same thing. And your actions makes this dough to what they will be. It's not your talk. Most of the time they don't listen to it. They don't even pay attention to what you are saying. And they all roll their eyes and I was like, oh, again. Honestly, but they see what you are doing, what you are dressed, how you speak. It's amazing when you see, especially daughter with the mother, or the boy with the father, because it's exactly, subhanAllah, or someone in the family, they are like this. So Quran, we're going to give the Quran a good amount of time. How much time you spend cooking, preparing for iftar? Reality. We have to eat. Everybody is hungry. How much time? So 1 to 2 hours? That's not too bad, because it's one meal. So 1 to 2 hours for 24 hours, that's not too bad. And then you know what? It's part of your generosity that you prepare good food for your family, not for the guests. It's for your family. And you keep teaching your children. She'll look at you and say, Mom, this is the best cake you baked. How come? Don't say because I'm smart. Say because it's Ramadan. And Ramadan brings generosity with it. This is going to stay in her mind or his mind. Oh, Ramadan, yes, yeah, Ramadan Mubarak. Why do we say Mubarak? Blessed month. That's the blessing. So spend 1 or 2 hours cooking. Absolutely fine, you have to. But can I use this time also with something else? Especially if you're alone, what do? Listen to the Quran that you read. It will stick in your mind. And the easiest, best way. Do you go to Taraweeh, everybody here? Do you pray Taraweeh in the house? Everyone show me hands. Either you go or you pray. It doesn't matter. So if you go or you pray, if you're praying alone in the house, which a lot of women find it much better because they can focus more, and some women find it harder. It depends. It's not the issue. You put your Quran in front of you. All of you have a Quran in front of you. Do you have a place where you put the Quran in front of you? You can find like a stand or a place or a chair. That juz, that day, you read it in the morning for your 2 hours. And then you listen to it, the same juz, that when you were cooking. And then you're going to reading it in the night. Has to be. No way. Something from that juz will hit your heart. Maybe one ayah. One ayah is more than enough to hit your heart. It will change you. One ayah, doesn't matter. I'll give you an example. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and this was witnessed by the Sahaba. He did Qiyamul Layl, the night prayer, with one ayah. The whole night with one ayah. إن تعذبهم فإنهم عبادك وإن تغفر لهم فإنك أنت العزيز الحكيم. If you forgive them, Allah is saying this about Himself, subhanahu. If you forgive your servants, first is if you punish them, they are your servants. And if you forgive them, you are all might, all wise. One ayah, the whole night. The Rasul is like you're talking about 7 to 8 hours, one ayah. Why? Because it's hitting you, it's hitting you, it's hitting you, it's hitting you. This is what you need to do. Quality of the Quran. Definitely there is no Ramadan. I'm not speaking fiqh. I cannot say this word in fiqh, but I'm saying it spiritually in your heart and to move your score from 50. There is no Ramadan without Quran. It becomes hunger and thirst. And as in one hadith, Allah does not need your hunger and thirst. If you didn't change the meaning of it, if you didn't change in Ramadan, Allah does not need your hunger and thirst. That's exactly what the Rasul ﷺ said. You need to be different this coming Ramadan. Young and old. Young or old. So I'm going to read, if I am in the tube, I am going to in my way, or I'm driving. It depends how you reach to your work or college. It's going to be the same juz. Alhamdulillah these days. Who doesn't have Quran on their eye? Who doesn't have a phone? Who doesn't have a phone? Anybody? See, no hand. Right? In the 90s, I studied in England. And as we were driving, I was bringing back the memories. And I said, how did my family called me? Really? What's a phone? No phone. And I still remember, I was in the dorm, and then there was one phone next to the elevator. So the phone rings. Whoever is there, pick up the phone. And then they knock on your door and says, phone for you. Can you believe this? And then we go, and I talk, and in the corridor, and the elevator opens and closes. Point. Things changed. All of us have phone. Who doesn't have Quran on their phone? You can tell me which app, who's your muqri', right? Do you want in Arabic and English? You want it in Arabic only? You want with repetition? The muqri' read and then the student read after him? All these are available. So no excuse. It's going to be in your phone or your car. It depends what are you doing, or on your player if you are in the house. Quran, daily, non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. You need to turn to Allah from today. There's only 24 hours left, maybe 36 hours. Ya Allah, make this happen. Make this happen. It is not me. I am not used to this. I never even thought of this, but I know you can do it. Help me with this. Quran has to be, you or me, Muslims, identified in Ramadan by the Quran. If you are in, where I lived for many years in Jeddah, the beauty, everyone is holding their Quran. The man who's in the front of the main door of the hospital, the guard. In Ramadan, he's holding his Quran. The guard in where I lived, holding his Quran. The maintenance person, sitting on that chair waiting and then holding his Quran. Amazing. That's what we want to be. This is what we want to be. So number one is Quran. Number two, let's come to the fasting itself. So there's three kinds of fasting. This is spiritual level. The first kind of fasting is what we just shared, the 50%. You're going to be hungry and thirsty and tired from dawn to dusk, and you're going to have the intention of fasting. That's the 1 billion. These 1 billion will be filtered. Do you have any idea how? Talk to me. Do you have any idea how I can improve my fasting? So we talked about the Quran. My fasting. What makes your fasting different than mine? That in front of Allah, yours will be 80 and mine is still 50. How? Think of it.
Our daily challenges.
I'm sorry?
Our daily challenges.
Daily challenges is everybody. Ayah, ask me.
Well, similar to that is like the way you interact with people, the way like in terms of patience.
Okay, that's one of them. That's one of them. The way you. Allah, now we are talking. Now we are talking. We human beings spiritually have 6 senses, right? It's actually 7, but one of them is already taken care of with the fasting. We have eyes, we have ears, we have tongue, we have hand, we have leg, we have stomach, and we have private part. This is spiritually, they say. 7 senses for spirituality, right? That's why Jahannam has 7 doors. That's how the scholars teaches you. So 7. The eye, the mouth in general, including, of course, the tongue. And then you have the ear, you have the hand, you have the leg, you have the stomach, and you have the private part. Stomach and private part are taken care of during the day, because that's part of my 50%. Now let's come to these. These, if you fast, make them fast. If you make them fast, that's where your scores will skyrocket high. So let's start at the eye. How can my eye fast? Can my eye fast? Of course, you're going to say yes because I'm asking you. And it's like she's asking, so probably if I'm smart, I'm going to say yes. So, yes. So if you say yes, I'm going to tell you, tell me, other than you, because you, alhamdulillah, you know. I want the youth to tell me. So how can my eye fast?
You do more, you sleep less and do more pray and read the Quran.
Yes. I'm sorry? Yeah, in the back?
Not to look at or waste your time watching or.
Put it, you're absolutely, all of you are right. Put it under a big category so it's easier for everyone, because everyone use their eyes differently.
Less social media stuff.
That's the big problem. We'll come to this. Basically, you are gonna, your goal and reality. Goal, I am not be looking at any haram. Any. I know it's very hard. I know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. Meaning, what is haram? What is forbidden looking? Looking at what? What's haram I look at?
Something on the TV that's not appropriate.
So, watching TV. I wouldn't say something in the TV. I say watching TV. Because watching TV, 99%, some haram is going to come in here. You're watching, somebody was telling me the other day, you know what, I watch Islamic, you have Islamic channel here? Right? So Islamic channel, right? Absolutely Islamic channel, there's no haram, walillah alhamd. What is the possibility as you are looking for Islamic channel and you're flipping the channels, some haram is going to pop up? What is the possibility? Very high. Because almost all other channels are all haram. What is the possibility, or is there a possibility I am going to be strong enough to stop this? Not necessarily. So any door to open to haram I'm going to close it. So that TV, if you have a choice, and I said if you have a choice, absolutely, out of the window in Ramadan. Out of the window, because one of the ways you waste your time without you knowing is Ramadan is not the time to start listening to lectures. No, you have already listened to lectures. Ramadan is time to practice the lectures and practice your Quran and learn your Quran. Close your eyes from haram, flipping the magazines. You're buying your grocery from Tesco or Sainsbury or like Schnucks where I live or Bin Dawood where I'm going, right? So you come to pay. You're paying your money. What do you see in front of you? A sign says, Idhkurillah, remember Allah. A sign says, Astaghfirillah. Is that what you see? I wish. What do you see? All these haram pictures in front of you, all these beautiful ladies that we all want to be like them. My fasting, my eyes has to fast. Lower my gaze, close the doors that will open these doors. Did you get my point? Part of it is absolutely social media. Social media is a disaster. I mean, I really don't know why people honestly put pictures of themselves, I'm not talking about others, themselves in an inappropriate way. Women. And I'm not talking about people wearing a swimsuit. That's obvious. Even other ways. Other ways. Full makeup. I mean, I saw a picture yesterday. I was like, subhanallah, this is a Muslim person? Dressed, adi, right? Full makeup, big red lipstick, and the lip is in a form of kissing somebody. A Muslim person? Ramadan is coming? Is that how I want to be in front of Allah? Now, if I'm not doing it, I am seeing it, then that's my eyes should not see this. Did you see my point? It's not about the person only who puts his or her picture this way, but it is me looking at it. Close the doors. Close those doors. Make your eyes fast. Don't look at haram. Don't read haram. Absolutely. And haram is obvious. I'm not talking about the doubtful. Haram is obvious. You walk in the street, what can I do? Today is going to be very warm and everybody is not dressed properly. Lower your gaze. Lower your gaze. Your eyes. If you do this, your fast will jump to 75% right away. Immediately. Because this is the biggest one. Second big or even bigger is actually your mouth. And the mouth is not only talking. Because a lot of us these days are so busy. We really don't talk. But we talk a lot. Texting, posting, this is all talk. But not with a voice, without a voice. What am I writing? Ask yourself this question every time. Ramadan is a training camp. That's why it's 30 days. If I can control it in 30 days, I'll come out of it much better. When I am writing whatever I am writing, and I'm not talking necessarily haram, which I'm sure everybody in this room, alhamdulillah, they don't do that, right? But when I am writing, is the person reading what I am writing will make them a better human being? Will make them closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Will help them to less disobey Allah? Most of the time the answer is no. It's just super fluent. I was in selfie. I was whatever, London Bridge. So why do I want to tell the world I was in London Bridge? Is that going to get me to Jannah? Oh, honestly, I always ask people, why? What happened to privacy? What happened to, please don't, this is my private world. So what are you saying? And backbiting, ladies. And backbiting is not questionable haram. It's a major sin. Major. And why I'm saying this and I'm very comfortable and I'm very confident? Because Allah said it in the Quran. أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَن يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا? Do you really want to eat the flesh of your brother or dead brother or sister? Do you want to? And there's no answer in the Quran because the answer is obviously no. Your tongue, don't talk. That's the best way of not disobeying Allah. Remember Sayyidah Maryam, Mary. She fasted, right? But how? نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا. I am not going to be speaking. Speak less. I'm not going to say don't speak at all, especially if you have family. That's not possible. I'm talking reality. I don't have to talk to my friends in Ramadan every single day. Do I have to? Unless she's sick, unless she's in the hospital, unless she's going through a difficult time, and my words will make it easy. That's generosity. But in general, how are you? How was your fast? What did you eat yesterday? How was iftar? How was Taraweeh? Oh, it was too long, and I didn't remember what the imam. Is this gonna get me anywhere? Is this true what I'm saying? Is this what we usually talk about? Is this gonna get me where? Nowhere. Don't do that. Hold yourself. Remember, this is why Rasulullah in a hadith said, when someone transgressed against you during Ramadan, or say something not nice to you during Ramadan, how do you answer? Say, Allahumma inni sa'im. Ya Allah, I'm fasting. That's what you say to yourself. So when you about to text or post this picture or whatever, tell yourself, Allahumma inni sa'im. Throw it away. When you're about to speak, here you still speak on the phone, I noticed. We don't do this much in the States anymore. It's all texting. It's texting or voice message. Yeah, we don't talk. This is too long, too much time. And I actually, alhamdulillah, I like this. Because when you send a text message or a voice message, it's usually much shorter. And to the point, what you want. So watch this. Watch your tongue. You all love selfie? Everybody loves selfie these days? Put selfie on your tongue. Wallah, use technology to get you closer to Allah. He created it. He didn't say it's haram. He didn't say voice message is haram. He didn't even say Facebook is haram or Instagram or Snapchat. He didn't say it's haram. It's how you use it. So put your phone on your mouth. We have Raqibun Atid. They are recording. We like it, we don't like it, they are recording. You record before they record and see what are you saying. Haram, absolutely prohibited, disliked, makruh, and then you come to the super fluent, just talking. And I'm not going to say anything to her. Yeah, don't say anything. Start asking Allah for forgiveness. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. Mouth. And remember this hadith. Sayyidina Mu'adh ibn Jabal asked the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. Very simple question, we all do. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, are we going to be taken accountable because of what we say? And يُؤَاخَذُ بِمَا نَقُولُ. Allah will take us accountable? What we say? What was the answer? ثَكَلَتْكَ أُمُّكَ يَا مُعَاذ. May your mother mourn you. It's a figure of speech meaning you will die and your mother will take condolences. This is really when you are tough with someone. And like, how can you not know that? This is how the figure of speech present. And he said, what else will put people, their faces or their noses, in the hellfire, but the harvest of their tongue? The harvest of their tongue. Remember this? And the second one, which I love it, and scholars teaches you and I, that Rasulullah usually is extremely gentle in what he speaks. Very few where you can see the tone is a little bit different. One of them is about talk. He said, قُلْ خَيْرًا وَلَّا فَاصْمُتْ. Say good or stay quiet. Stay quiet is a tough word. Stay quiet. Don't speak unless what you are saying is khair. You're teaching someone, you're guiding someone, you're making someone feel better. Somebody who is good but you think they can be even better, talk to them, young or old. Otherwise, don't just talk because I have to talk. Tongue. Mouth, I'm still in the mouth because this is the biggest one. What are you putting in your mouth? This is very important. We Muslims, unfortunately, we were the first people taught this and we are the last people to know this. What did Allah teach us in the Quran to eat? You're going to tell me halal meat. I know. You know what's I don't know about here, but I'm just giving you examples from the States. So, these big conferences, huge conferences, right? So you see the long line at halal, whatever the halal food is. And the next one is not halal, nobody. And I was like, this is really good news. Now you look at the people who are standing in the halal, not wearing hijab, not wearing properly, the way they interact with each other is not pleasing to Allah. Sometimes you hear what they are saying is haram, what they are saying, but they are standing in the line for halal meat. We choose from what Allah told us what we want, and the rest out of the window. What did He tell us to eat? Halal for sure, but what's the next one? Tayyibah. And everybody forgot tayyibah. And subhanallah, now all the talk in the world is about tayyibah. What is tayyibah? Pure. What's pure? What's pure? I wouldn't say only organic. Definitely it's organic. But it's healthy, it doesn't harm your body. And I'm not doing it because that's the vogue. That's because what everybody tells me to do. You know, it's like the green movement and whatever movement. I'm doing this because Allah told me. كُلُوا مِمَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. Eat what you have on this earth. Halal, lawful, and tayyib. Tayyib mean pure, healthy. It's not going to harm my body. I have diabetes and then I go and eat all this sweet while it's Ramadan. Well, this is not tayyibah. This is not, your fasting will stay 50%. Right? Here I am, I'm fasting, and then I go and eat all this unhealthy food daily. And I have the options of the tayyib, but so look at what you put in your mouth. One. Number two, where are you buying it from? Tayyib, where are you buying it from? These days, the best way to make people think of you and know that you exist, not necessarily Muslim, as a community, is your what? Economic power. You boycott one thing, and what happens? Everybody starts looking at you and says, buy mine. So when you go and buy, spend 2-3 minutes and look what's in this and where it was made. And who's this company? Tayyibah, and your niyyah tayyibah. You know what I'm saying? Because we are in Ramadan, unfortunately, and this is real statistics, the highest number of spending per month in the world is in the Muslim world during Ramadan. And this is exactly opposite to Ramadan. But that's the reality. So when you go and buy, and we all live in non-Muslim countries, I'm going to go and check. I'm not going to buy this because this is a company that my money goes to kill my people. I'm not buying it, and I'm not going to die if I don't eat their product. Be vigilant. This is rewards. This is rewards. This is going to elevate. You are awake. You are vigilant. You are not thinking of yourself only. It will take you 2-3 extra minutes. There is a place, grocery shop, which does not sell alcohol and sells grocery. And there's a place that sells alcohol and sells grocery. Absolutely, I'm going here. I am going here, even if I have to walk 10 minutes more, because I am supporting the people who are obeying Allah. Look at these things, ladies, it's simple. Allah alladhi allahu, if all Muslims do this, we absolutely, one of the reasons Allah says you are the best nation that He created. And look at us these days. Are we the best nation? As Muslims? Look around the world. Are we? So, halalan tayyibah. Where did the money come from? Where is the money coming from that you are buying? Look at this. And this is individual. Me. You. Where is this money? Interest. Can I live without interest? Yes, you can. Will I lose some? Yes, you will. Will I lose a lot? No, you will gain a lot there. So halalan tayyiba. Put these titles. If you're going to put Quran, I'm going to say non-negotiable. I'm going to say food. I'm going to say halalan tayyiba. I'm going to say talk. I'm going to put under it قل خيرا ولا فاصمت. Say good or stay quiet. Things these days we don't have a lot of patience and time to read along. But these days we are what? We want I call it the McDonald's meal. Meaning I want to stop, pick up, get full and leave. Fine, let's do it this way in Deen also. So put it under Quran, time, non-negotiable. Food, halalan tayyiba. My mouth, say good, pure, beneficial, or stay quiet. My hand, what do I do with my hand? Including cooking. Now coming to cooking. How much I disobey Allah when I'm cooking. Can I disobey Allah and I'm cooking? Come on. I'm cooking. I'm hungry. I'm starving, but I'm cooking for my family and telling you I'm disobeying Allah? Huh? You're all looking at me. Like, I'm sure she has something, but I'm not getting it.
You waste too much time, and sometimes I've heard of people
You waste.
and they miss the salah, they don't pray Quran, and they're cooking and cooking and cooking.
So under cooking, you're going to put the word waste. And the waste has many wastes. Definitely time. A meal that takes 30 minutes and you are spending 2 hours, you're wasting your time. I'll give you, this is a real example with me. I had a friend was helping me, I had guests coming, so she was helping me. And she says, what do you want me to do? I said, you know what, can you please just make salad? It's too much chopping and things, just make salad. She said, sure, that's easy. Okay. I cooked 3 dishes. She's still making salad. I looked at her and says, Habibati, this is a huge waste. It's a salad. Why is it taking you that long? It's salad. Just chop it and put it in the bowl and we're done. Waste. Waste. So yes, Ramadan, to move Ramadan from 50 to 80, your time management, as we call it these days. Time management. I have to feed my family. I have to. I cannot say, well, it's Ramadan, I'm not going to cook. You know what? You're disobeying Allah. No, you cook, but you are going to be efficient, smart, and don't waste time. But with waste time, what do we waste? The food itself. The food itself when we cook. Look at the garbage. How much you throw in the garbage. You didn't eat it yet. It's not made yet. You're just preparing. Right? How many of you do compost? Learn to do it in Ramadan because you're cooking every day. Put it all in a bowl. Simple. Put it in a bowl. I mean, there's many ways. You easily can Google it. So you're peeling whatever you're doing, onion, tomato, whatever it is, right? All of it, don't throw it in the garbage. Just fill it up in a container. Leave it outside. Leave it outside. Be patient. After 5 or 6 days, sometimes a week, it becomes what? Becomes what?
Compost.
Absolutely. Compost. You don't have I'm sure everybody has even a small yard. You don't have a small yard, don't you have some plants? You don't have anything, take it with you, go to the park, give it to the park. How much this will cost you? You didn't do anything extra because you're cooking. But your niyyah, what's your niyyah? What's your niyyah that Allah will reward you for it? Saving this earth. It's His creation. لا تسرفوا. Allah said this in Surah Al-A'raf. لا تسرفوا, don't waste. And every don't in the Quran is an obligation. Unless there is to follow a statement that move it from obligation to recommendation. So don't, لا تسرفوا, do not waste. إنه لا يحب المسرفين. He does not like those who waste. Remember this. With food in the kitchen, you're going to put لا تسرفوا. You don't tell this to your children only. You're going to say, number 1, to yourself. As you are preparing, everything you are preparing, don't prepare too much food unless you're a person who cook once a week. And a lot of people does that because it saves energy, it saves time, it saves washing, it saves soap, it saves water, everything. A lot of people, especially working women, they cook once a week, they put it in the freezer. I am one of those people. And then I get it out. Don't use the microwave. Use the microwave. That's a different story. Get it out the night before and then just warm it and eat it. No, my husband wants everything daily fresh. That's what he wants. Make him happy. That's a reward. Then you start cooking for a day, meaning much smaller. Don't waste. Now you cooked and now you are eating. Ya Allah, forgive us how much we waste food. Muslims in masajid, wearing hijab, wearing niqab, they are crying after Taraweeh, and I look at the plate and I said, Ya Allah, teach us. Teach us. Am I exaggerating? Do you all see this everywhere in the house? Where did we learn this from? This is my always question to people. Who taught me in my deen it's okay to take the chicken drumstick and take a bite and leave the rest? Who said this? لا تسرفوا. Your plate, والله الذي لا هو. One of my teachers, and I saw this with my own eyes. And he actually was in the house. We invited him in my friend's house, and the men were sitting separate. So the husband, my friend's husband, brought the plates for us. And we looked at this plate and said, oh, this is not used. And he said, no, this is the sheikh's plate. You know what it means? Clean. Nothing. Wallah alladhi lahu, I remember this very well. I was like, what? He said, oh yeah, he ate. And he said at the end he brought, because everybody was watching, brought a piece of bread, cleaned the plate. Can we do that? We all eat bread. We love naan. Who doesn't? Right? Why don't we do that? If you take it and you don't like it, what do I do with that? I didn't like it. If it's my child, he or she is eating it. Done. Because I need them to learn not to waste and think a million times before what you put in your plate. For me, an adult is easier. Take it home. Take it home. This is true story. We were in Turkey, group, going for a spiritual trip. And then out of the generosity of the host, they took us to a restaurant. So we women all were sitting together. The men were behind us. Honestly, the table from here to there. They brought a lot of appetizers, the Turkish food, beautiful, yummy food. And then the kebab came in. I have still a picture of it. I've never seen it. The kebab starts from here. Wallahi, this is what the restaurant is famous for. From here ends there. So how much we ate. And I looked at this. What are we going to do with it? So I still remember the story because everyone made fun of me. I can't tell you how much people made fun of me. And there was Osman, I remember very well. He was the man who's helping us. And I said, Osman, do you have plastic containers? Of course, he doesn't speak English. Somebody has to translate for me. And he said, yes. I said, get me as many as you can. I'll pay for it if I have to pay. He said, no. So I started cutting. This is meat. This is very expensive. This is lamb. Right? So people figured out. Some followed. Some didn't do anything, kept watching. But some says, what are you going to do with this? Who's going to take it? They start putting doubt in you. You're not talking about a piece. You're talking about a stack. Right? Everything. Appetizers, everything. We had, I think, at the end, I had 6 or 7 bags. Kept doing it, laughing at me. We're going to go and talk to the sheikh. I said, go and talk to the sheikh. Good. Go and talk to the sheikh and see what he will tell you. طيب? So before we left at 10 p.m., so it was late. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha illahu. The moment we left the masjid, the restaurant, there was a woman here. How do you know people are in need? When they take food. If people take food, these people are in need. If they tell you, I want money, they are not in need. Right? So I looked at her and I said, food. She knows why she's standing in front of the restaurant. I gave her all the bags. You gave her Jannah. Everybody was looking at me. I said, see, I told you. You take one step to get close to Allah, Allah will open the doors for you. That's what you all need to do. You are in the masjid, you are in the person who prepared the food, or you're the person, may Allah reward you, who clean after. Don't complain about other people, pray for them. But you be the one you're going to do what? One of you donate to the masjid all these containers. So nobody says, there's no container. And then you do the effort, because you will be rewarded. Barakah, this is the barakah of the food. This is how Allah gives you money. This is how Allah gives you wealth when you don't waste. لا تسرفوا, don't waste. قيدوا النعم بالشكر. Hassan al-Basri used to say this repeatedly. Chain your blessings by being grateful. And one of the way being grateful for food is not wasting. So when you go at food, remember the topics. Don't forget, don't get distracted. But the Quran, what did we say? With the Quran, we have the senses. So I had the eyes, I had the mouth. And in the mouth, I'm going to say, لا تسرفوا, speak good or stay quiet, don't waste. And if somebody else next to me is wasting, I am going to be the person who is going to take the reward. I always tell people, okay, you don't want the reward, I'll take it. And then don't cry on Day of Judgment when you see I have more rewards than you. Be a leader. Be a leader. And everyone in this room, mothers, you are, but not by choice, you're leaders. Allah made you a leader in your home. So your hand, what are you cooking? What are you throwing in the garbage? At all. Do you recycle here? Everybody? Everyone? Alhamdulillah. Keep doing that. Move from plastic to real bottles, meaning glass. Refill. Alhamdulillah, in our masjid just before I came, 2 young people effort, a husband and a wife, young, not even 30. They pushed. Now they removed all the fountains and made it refill fountains. No more bottles of water in the masjid in Ramadan. I mean, these are thousands of bottles. They said no more. Everyone brings your container, your glass, your whatever, and you fill, and they put it everywhere in the masjid. That's khair. Now my leg. Remember the senses. My leg. Where does my leg go in Ramadan? Where does it go? Let's go out for shopping. Let's go out after Ramadan, and I see this a lot. May Allah forgive us. I'm sure in London is the same thing, especially central London. All these cafes, and people are doing hookah or smoking or doing all this in Ramadan. Where is my legs going? Watch your leg. Don't watch other people. I'm not talking about other people you know. I'm talking about me, to myself, and you to yourself. Now, private part is taken care of, wallah alhamd, and the mouth food is taken care of because of the fasting. You do this daily, 30 days. You moved your fasting from the 1 billion, they call it Sawmul Awam, the general fasting, to the second level, it's called Sawmul Khawas, the fasting of the special. The fasting of the special. Fasting of the special. That's how your fast will be different from your fast. 2 people, one next to each other, both fasted. One fasting is up there and the other fasting is here. What is the difference? Is what did you do? What did you say? What did you look at? What did you eat? How did you eat? All these. Now the third level. This third level doesn't come easy and doesn't come right away. You really have to work on these. Maybe in the last 10 days Allah will give it to you. Maybe one day, maybe 1 minute, where your heart will fast. And how does the heart fast? So exactly. Think of what does my heart have. Think of your hearts now. What does it have? Feelings. Again, general, and then we will divide. So it has feelings, right? And then what else it have? Thoughts, plans, right? This is all comes here. I'm not talking about the physical heart that pump. I'm talking about the spiritual heart. So it comes to feelings. What kind of feelings you have? Either good or bad. I love or I hate. I'm jealous, or may Allah give her more. Or I envy, or it's fine, may Allah give her more. Or why she is, I'm much better than her. Or you know what, everyone is better than me. All these diseases of the heart. Arrogance, anger, envy, hate. All these are diseases. How much we have, only Allah knows. And of course you or I. But I never know what's in your heart. And you never know what's in my heart. Whatever I show could be absolutely the opposite. So I'm going to put my selfie this time on my heart, not on other people. And look around you from today. What do you have in your heart? Who do you hate? And who do you love? This hate feeling has to be for Allah. And this love feeling has to be for Allah. Then my heart is fasting. I love you because you remind me of Allah, because you take me closer to Allah, because you help me to be a good person. I don't like you. I don't even like the word hate. I don't like you because you make me weaker. Your action, I don't like you, I don't like your action, because your action makes me weaker, makes me more distant from Allah, makes me easier to disobey Allah. So I don't like to be with you. That's for Allah. I'm jealous. Why I'm jealous? Because you know what? You can do things I wish I can do. You can easily read the 3 parts of the Quran, I can't. And you can stand up for 20 rak'at and I cannot. We are the same age, same nothing, everything. And then I'm envy. I want to be like her. That's good. I'm jealous because why does she drive this car and I don't? And I am much smarter than her. That's bad. So analyze your heart from today. Everything in your heart needs to move if it is not for Allah or not going to get me closer to Allah. Easy said. How easy to be done. How easy. You are too quiet. It's not easy. You know why? 2 reasons. Number 1, I never thought of it. Think of it. Think of it. And number 2, I don't have time to even look at my heart. I'm too busy running around. Take time to look at your heart. Go to the masjid 5 minutes before Taraweeh and sit. Don't say salam and chat to everybody. How is your Ramadan? How was it? How the kids? We fasted. I don't need this. This is not going to get me close to Allah. Sit there because that's a blessed place. And maybe this is the only 5 minutes in my day when people will leave me alone. Then stay alone, focus, look at your heart and says, Ya Allah, whatever you're seeing, I'm not seeing. Whatever is not pleasing to you, please get it out. Is that hard? It's not hard. Why don't we do it then? Because we don't think of it. I need my heart to fast. If your heart fasted, then you are 100%. You scored the 100. That's it. Because if the heart fast, every word, because who's the king? Who's the king will give the orders to everything. So if this is fasting, my words will come pleasing to Allah. I'm not going to look at what please Allah. I'm going to do what please Allah. It's very easy because this is the order. The scholars of hearts tells you the heart in spirituality is like the hard disk of a computer. If the hard disk, if a virus come and attack the hard disk, what happens to the computer? Dead. Dead. And the screen, what you see is you and me externally. So whatever softwares you have, it will come up. So put the good softwares. The love of Allah, the hubb of Allah. Ask dua. Dua, use your day and night and morning and evening in supplications. It is accepted by Allah by what Rasul ﷺ taught you and me. ثلاث لا ترد دعوتهم. 3, their supplication granted. One of them, the person who is in a state of fasting till he or she eats. Especially during eating also. This is accepted. Stop making dua only for your children. Alhamdulillah, do dua for them, but do dua for yourself, number 1. I always say this to people, especially living in the West. Can you guarantee me, after I die or you die, somebody will remember me in dua? Can you guarantee? Absolutely not. How often you remember your grandmother? Your mother you still remember. رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. We all do that. How often you remember your grandmother? I didn't even see her. So 50 years from now, who's going to remember me? Ya Allah, give her Jannat al-Firdaus. Ya Allah, make her grave the Jannah. Do this for yourself now. Do for yourself now. Make dua for yourself. Allah makes you one of His servants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purify your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this dunya my best farm for my akhirah. Allah makes my grave piece of Jannah. May Allah make me speak what pleases Him. May Allah make me look at what pleases Him. All what I shared with you. I need Allah to help me. This is not easy. It's actually very difficult, reality. But who's going to make things easy? Allah. Generosity, and I will stop here because of the time. Be generous. Have money, give. Don't tell me they don't deserve. Don't tell me they always do fundraising in Ramadan. Yeah, they do. Because Allah is sending you an opportunity to be generous. Otherwise, no fundraising. How often you will give money? You don't even remember. I have no money. I barely can bring food to my family. So don't talk to me about money. Absolutely no. Don't worry about money. Can I be generous without money? Tell me. Absolutely yes. Tell me.
Smile.
Smile. This is the masjid. This is where you pray in Ramadan. Right? Somebody, and teach this to your children. Bring your daughter next to you. Stay next to the door. Everyone comes in. Smile and say Salam Alaikum. You know her. You don't know her. She'll answer you. She doesn't answer you. Why you're standing? Why you're saying Salam? I don't know you. Doesn't matter. Salam Alaikum. That's generosity. And you are going to spread salam in this masjid. That's what Rasul ﷺ taught us. Afshu salam, spread peace. And basically by spreading salam. That's one. Let's take masjid. Generosity in the masjid. No money, no fundraising, no boxes.
Clean, healthy, clean, idea.
Before clean. Clean is after, as you coming. Give your place where you are praying to somebody else. Will you do that? Will you do that? No answer. Will you do that? No. Do it. Do it. Be a giver. Be a giver. Well, I'm here since 7:30 and I am here and I finally can focus and listen to the imam. And then a woman comes in. Why didn't she come earlier? Don't say that. Look at it. Allah gave you an opportunity to do a good deed. Every opportunity of a good deed, look at it. Allah sent it to you, so your score will go up. Your choice. You're not going to do it, somebody else will do it. A woman has children. And the woman who has children, she also wants to come one day to the Ramadan, to the Taraweeh, isn't she? And she's struggling with this baby. Can you take this baby, take this baby, and go to this room in the back and tell her, you know what? Enjoy your 2 rak'at. I'm going to take care of him. I pray all the time alone. So alhamdulillah, I've done it. What do you think this woman will do? And how much it's going to cost you? And will Allah reward you the reward of praying? Yes, He will. Does that cost? Absolutely. Cleaning after. Not only bringing food, and we all do that. We'll bring dates, we'll bring food, but then the mess afterward. Don't make mess, that's a reward. You eat a date, which we all do. Make sure you bring a piece of tissue. You didn't have a piece of tissue, put it in your pocket. You go home and throw it in the garbage. And you leave it here, who's going to clean it? Who's going to clean it after you? And why do they have to clean after you? So leave the masjid when you come in. Usually, how do you find the masjid in Ramadan when you come in? Beautiful, clean. Probably sometimes even smell with like bukhur or something that people put. Leave it the same way. That's generosity. Parking. And I'm sure you all struggle with parking here. I'm assuming it's very difficult here, right? So what do? Call your neighbor. How much it costs you? He says, I'm going to Taraweeh today. Do you want to come with me? Then instead of 2 parking, 1 parking. We call it carpool there. I don't know what you call it here, right? Or I'm going to walk, and I know my neighbor wants to come, but she's very uncomfortable walking alone. I said, you know what, come, we'll walk together. Or 4 of us, let's walk together and save gas and save the space. How much this cost you? How much this will cost you? No answer. Nothing, exactly. Nothing. Generous. Now, somebody said this earlier. Generosity in your feelings. Forgive people. Just forgive. Whatever they did to you. Just forgive them. ربنا لا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا. Ya Allah, don't put in my heart any ill feeling toward any believer. Whatever you did, I've done worse to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how I look at it. Whatever I transgressed against, she transgressed against my right, I transgressed against the right of Allah. And He forgives me and He still gives me. Let me be the same person. That's generosity. That's the biggest one in Ramadan. Huge. Huge one because it's one of the hardest ones. The harder the action you are doing, the more is the reward. The more the struggle, the more the reward. Like I always say to people, every time I go to Mecca and I say, like these ladies who's living in the West, especially working mom and has children. She has to cook and fast for 16 hours and no one help her to clean. And then she has to work and do all these things and she has to be spiritual. And here I am sitting in Mecca doing nothing, all in ibadah. Are we the same? Subhanallah. Right? So the harder the act of worship, the more struggle, the harder, the more difficult on you, your reward will be much more. This is what you get you move your 50% every 1 billion fasting, and you're going to be different. Because everybody will stand in this room. Again, I'm going to Mecca and I remember this years ago. The last 10 days of Ramadan, I think there was like 5 or 6 million. All were praying. I mean, you see Mecca in Ramadan. Everybody is praying. And the thought came to me, who is this one? That their fasting, their prayer, their feelings, their relationship with Allah is different. And what did they do? SubhanAllah, that year, there was a huge drought in Mecca. And the Imam in the middle of the Taraweeh and the dua, and he says, I remember very well, he says, Ya Allah, if there is one righteous person between us, and you're talking about millions, by that one righteous person, send us rain. Before Fajr, it was pouring. And Ya Allah, who's that person? Who's that person? Why don't we be that person? And what is it? He or she, I have no idea. He or she fasted. He or she prayed. He or she came to Mecca to obey Allah. But there has to be something different. That Allah responded to that, because we all prayed. Because He was really begging us to pray. And the same thing for you. All of you will be coming here. All of you will be behind the Imam. All of you will be hungry. All of you will be thirsty. All of you will be tired and lack of sleep. Which one is the 100? And don't you want to be that person? Do it. And Allah will make it easy. Inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه تسليما كثيرا.
سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله الحمد لله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله الحمد لله سبحان الله سبحان